The Champions League is back after what seems like a long time due to the international break. But this time round, the Champions League brings alongside a bunch of UCL FIFA 22 content with it, including, well, we already have the Road to the Knockout cards, but it also is going to bring a ton of new daily SBC challenges, the new UCL useless base cards that we saw last year and in previous years, and of course, a bunch of market mayhem with UCL Marquee matchups and all that other nonsense that comes along with the UCL. So it should be fun. We're going to cover it all today in this video. And if you guys do enjoy, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up on it. And if you're enjoying the daily FIFA 22 content, make sure to subscribe because we're getting awfully close to 5K and it would be amazing to hit that by the end of the week. So guys, as I just said, we have the return of the Champions League, Europa League, and the UEFA Spurs League. And with that brings a ton of content. So what we're going to be seeing is, of course, the UEFA Marquee matchups. That seems to be the big market mover. And really, this is one of the only things I look forward to during these UCL weeks because it is extremely profitable. You guys can make a ton of coins going through investments and all that with the UEFA Marquee matchups. And they're basically the same thing as the regular Marquee matchups, except there's only 2 squads, and they're obviously good matchups like Liverpool, Atletico, or something we could see. But oftentimes they require those UCL cards. They might not require them this week because, again, we don't know if they're going to drop soon enough, and they just might not put that as a requirement with the UCL cards only being in packs for one day. But more times than not, it's really good. They give good pack rewards too, and you guys can make a ton of coins doing stuff with that. Of course, we'll go over more stuff later on. But we also end up getting these like daily SBC challenges, which we've already gotten during the Road to the Knockouts anyways. And of course, with the UCL, matchups happening, we also get live content moving. So what I mean is like the market's moving. We're going to get to play with those Road to the Knockout cards a little bit. And we're actually going to start there on the Road to the Knockouts because I think this is probably what a lot of people are going to be wondering, and it's probably our only profitable thing to do this week because we can't really pre-invest into this week's UEFA Marquee matchups because we don't have the UCL cards out, and they'll probably only require golds, which may or may not even move that much. We'll have to wait and see. But there's really only 2 cards that I'm really interested in trading this week with this at least Road to the Knockout team. Maybe Team 2 will be better if we're getting a Team 2. I think we are. But the first one's going to be Sandro Tonali, and the reason why I like him the most is he has a really good matchup this week. Milan play Porto while Liverpool and Atletico play, so regardless, Milan's going to have a shot at second place, and because it's going to be the first week with these cards, I think a lot of people are really going to start trading with them just kind of due to overhype and stuff, because it's the first time we've had the UCL cards, in a long time since FIFA 21, so I could see a lot of hype in trading with these cards. And they're both kind of affordable, Tonali and Vidal, the 2 that we're going to talk about. Now, of course, guys, this is a gamble. It is kind of too late to invest for a pre-match rise, and because they're in packs, it's kind of hard to do that. We're not really going to see too much. I mean, maybe at the time of this, video releasing, these cards might be a little bit higher anyways. But for example, you guys could kind of buy and sell during kickoff. Maybe these cards see like a 10K rise, which is still profitable at this low price. But that one's kind of really up to you. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of trading mid-game with them. So what's going to happen is, say AC Milan end up going up 1 or 2-0, kind of early on against Porto. You're going to see this card start getting bought up a ton. So this is, a gamble. You guys are going to kind of want to buy before the game starts. And what you can do is look to kind of buy and sell during this hype. And why I say sell during the hype, or what I mean by it, is sell literally right when the goal is scored, like maybe a minute after the goal is scored, and you start seeing the prices of Tonali go up. And the reason why I say you guys should sell during this and sell during the hype is because usually what happens is by the end of the game or when the game is over, the prices start to come back down as people look to sell off and take profit, or people start panicking because they realize the card's not going up anymore and they need to sell before they end up losing coins. And we're going to do the same thing with Vidal too. I think Inter have a really favorable group and I think they could, get out. Whereas some of the other cards, they probably don't have a shot of getting out of the group, or they just also might be a little bit too expensive or priced in. Really the only other cards that I really like are Sane in this group right now. As far as the Champions League ones go, I think Marquinhos is really expensive at 700k right now on Xbox. I think that's expensive for an 89 rated center back, especially when you have players like Varane, who's only 100k, and I mean Van Dijk's only 200k. So I just think Marquinhos really isn't worth it. Like I said, Sané's probably priced in, and I think he's a good one to buy. I think, he'll probably end up going up if Bayern win, but he's one that's a little more expensive, so his movements aren't going to be crazy. It'll probably just be a slow rise into the end of the group because I do think he's going to be 90 rated. I think his upgrades are pretty much guaranteed, honestly. But the other ones like Leipzig, I mean, Leipzig kind of have a tough group, and I don't think they're doing the greatest in theirs, if I'm not mistaken. And, the ones on the bench, like the Porto one, like, this guy's not getting out of his group with those other 3 teams that are in there. So it's like, I don't know, these are the only 2 that I'm really looking at for tomorrow. I think Sané's a good investment if you want to hold for a couple weeks and throw him in your team. But the other ones are the rest of them just really don't, put a lot of interest in me. And I know some people will ask about Rodrigo, but to be honest, guys, 84 rated at 300k, and with Madrid's form right now in the UCL, I'm gonna probably stay away from that one. And the Europa League cards, I mean, you guys can do what you want. I think West Ham one's a decent one. Isaac's a little expensive for me, and Son is Son. I mean, this card is going to go up regardless. He's kind of like Sané as far as investments go. Now, what about the UCL blue cards? I'm not going to talk too much about it because I put a really good video out last week, and I'll put it up in the top right, talking about what happened to the market when these cards came out. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically what happened is any gold card that ended up getting a UCL card too, we actually saw a bit of panic on that gold market, and we saw the market kind of come down. And I think we're actually going to see the same thing happen if these UCL blue cards do come out. And if they already did come out, I'm probably gonna be right when I say that these cards will come down. And really, any of the cards that come down are going to be anything from the Index 100. So a lot of these gold kind of fodder cards, these lower price cards, these are the cards that are going to end up coming down, and I know it's going to kill quite a bit of people that, were investing in stuff. As far as metas go, I don't think they'll be brought down too much. I don't think prices really affected them last year. And like for special cards and stuff, I wouldn't worry at all. But it'll be very similar to kind of what happened when the promo dropped the other day on Friday, where cards kind of just took a huge dip for no reason, just due to panic and a little bit of supply, which is what we're going to see tomorrow too. So, or today, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it comes out, you'll end up seeing kind of that as well. Now, these UCL cards are very good for one thing, and really one thing only, and that is the UCL Marquee matchups. And it's why I wanted to kind of talk about getting into some investments early on. So last year, we actually sometimes would see the UCL Marquee matchups come out on a Wednesday. So if we are to get the UCL blue cards today, what I would do if I were you guys is find any of the ones in any good leagues or good nations and kind of just invest in them, especially the ones that potentially could get in that marquee matchup. So for example, we have Liverpool and Atletico Madrid this week. So any Liverpool Blues would be a really good shout. And usually there's a rating requirement that's a little bit higher, so like 82, 83. So looking into some of those, Joel Matip is one that I really am interested in, guys. I'm just going to put that one out there right now. But we can take a look real quick on FOTMob and see what the other matchups are. But I do think we have a really good potential to see Liverpool versus Atletico be our marquee matchup for tomorrow. The other ones really don't interest me. And then, of course, we have, on the Wednesday, we have maybe Manchester United and Atalanta, maybe Bayern and Benfica, or maybe even PSG and Leipzig. But the other ones, that second matchup's kind of a toss-up. Whereas Liverpool and Atletico Madrid, like you guys kind of know, that is going to end up being the marquee matchup. So definitely take a look at some of the Liverpool UCL Blues tomorrow, if they do drop, of course. Because they could be really good, especially if you see prices come down quite a bit. They could be very profitable. Of course, if we do get UCL marquee matchups on the Tuesday, I don't really see it happening because I think EA won't let. If they do come out, they won't require any blue cards because there just wouldn't be any supply. It'd be impossible to complete them. But that is something you guys can kind of do every week, is pick up some of those UCL blue cards. Now, like I said, I don't think EA are going to end up including any blue card requirements for this first UCL marquee matchup. Who's to say they don't if they release it on Wednesday? But some players that I really do like are any 83s from those marquee matchup clubs. So I think any Liverpool for Atletico Madrid players are going to be a really good shout, especially between the 81 and 83 rated kind of range. So as I was saying, Joel Matip is one that I was a big fan of. Anything under 900 coins is a really good shout. Diego Jota is also a decent one at 82 rated. I think those two have a really good shout to be needed in any marquee matchup requirement. And then the same kind of goes with any of the Atletico Madrid ones. The Atletico Madrid players around that range, I think, is Hector Herrera even still on top of there? Regardless, João Felix, Lamar, I mean, there's a bunch. Correa, even on this one, DePaul, Hermoso. We have a lot of Atletico players that are really, really low. And I think just with a little requirement or something like that in a marquee matchup, you could see these cards go up quite a bit, especially if there is a rating requirement, because like I said, the UCL Marquee matchups, they give out good packs, and in return, you can make some really good coins off of them. Now, if I was buying them, I would stack them up. I don't think I'm going to, because I won't be able to get on the console when the content kind of drops, so I would end up kind of getting screwed over a little bit and lose some coins. But if you guys are able to get on at content time, this is a really good investment strategy to do. Definitely take a look at those UCL Blues if they do come out. I'm expecting them to come out really. And we actually already have them. They're right here. So they are in the game. They are going to come out most likely tomorrow. So don't be surprised. Or today, Tuesday, sorry. I'm recording this the day before. Now, if you guys do see a bit of market panic, or, you are going to see some market panic, definitely look at those out-of-pack specials and stuff. They'll rise up for sure. Don't worry about it. And of course, any fodder cards like 83s, they can't get much lower. If you're buying them at discard, it's super safe to do. Any card will go up in time. Same with the 84s, the 85s. Just watch and see those dips. Pick them up if they're low during any panic. It should be good. It'll be fun. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you drop a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace.